Hi, this is Phil Landers, designated broker at Keller Real Estate Company. Today we're going to have career conversations with Phil where we're going to showcase our top agents. We're going to be learning about their systems, their strategies, and their mindsets on building big businesses. We're changing lives and living the dream. Welcome to this edition of Career Conversations with Phil. Today, my special guest is Michael Manuel. Michael, we're so glad you're here to be with us in the studio. And so we're going to jump right in. So, Michael, tell me, what were you doing before real estate?
Before real estate, I was on staff at a church for about 10 years.
For 10 years. Okay, perfect. Well, you answered my second question for 10 years. So what made you want a career in real estate?
Yeah, that's a really long story.
Okay, well, let's dig into it.
The brief answer is, originally I got into ministry because I wanted to help people. That's always been my passion, and I think a real driving force in my life. And in the position in ministry that I was in, as I kind of grew in that organization, so much of my time was really spent managing tasks and administrative stuff. And I was in meetings all the time. And I really began to get burnt out a little bit. And I think part of the reason of that is I wasn't getting to help people and serve people in the way that I wanted to. I had kind of, as I took on more leadership, it just kind of grew away from that.
Gotcha.
And that was a source of burnout for me. And so I just really began to pray about what the Lord wanted me to do. And then that began to open up some doors. And so I guess 10 years ago, I guess it would have been about 8 years ago, we with a group of people helped plant a church. And so I was looking for a career in doing that was going to be as flexible as much as possible. I needed to be able to support my family, but really I wanted to get back to this passion of helping people. And real estate checked all those boxes for me.
Real estate really does. It is a ministry, isn't it?
Yeah. I tell people all the time, I feel like I impact people's lives way more as a realtor than I ever did as a pastor. And so it's been a neat transition.
And I think that's fair. I can tell you in my own career that we have an opportunity to minister to people in this capacity.
We get to meet people from all different walks of life, all different seasons and stages of life. And we're walking them through big decisions and big transitions. And so I love it.
So how long have you been doing real estate now?
October will be 6 years.
6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me ask you, why KW?
Yeah, that's a good question. So whenever I first got my license and was interviewing with different brokers, there's really, at that time, two things I was looking for. One is obviously just the compensation structure. Right. I wanted the ability to make as much money as I could.
Sure.
Doing real estate. And then along with that is what was being offered, what sort of value was being provided along with whatever the commission structure was.
Gotcha.
And so the main thing I was looking for, though, was training. And so I obviously coming out of ministry into real estate, I didn't have any sort of business experience at all. And so at that time in my life, I just really identified I needed the ability to make money quickly, and I needed training. Gotcha. And so as I interviewed with or talked with different companies, it just became clear. I mean, training, especially at that time, we were the only company, I think, that even offered a cap. I know other people have tried to copy us now, I think.
Right, yes.
But just the value of what we got, could recognize even then that it was superior. Those things are still important to me, but I tell people now the reason I stay at Keller Williams is just the culture. Man, I love the culture that you guys have helped create of people who I think genuinely care about one another, people who are willing to help one another. Think about all the people when I first started that invested in me, from Susie and Bethany and Pam and Leslie, and all those people are still here. But I wouldn't be anywhere where I am if those people weren't willing to share with me and care for me. And even beyond that, we've had agents, we've lost agents, we've had agents go through hard times, have agents lose family members. And I love the way our company rallies around them. I'm probably talking longer than you wanted, but the leadership, I mean, you guys, I never have to wonder if you care for us as agents. I never have to wonder, are there people looking out for us? And so all of those things to me are just invaluable. You can't put a dollar amount to those things.
I
And
agree.
part of
Thank
the
you.
reasons
That's
why.
for your words are very kind. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you see us that way. That's how we want to be seen, and
Yeah.
that's how we want to be. And that's how we want our agents to be. We
Yeah.
together everyone achieves more. That's
Yeah.
part of our fundamental belief
Hmm.
system. So thank you for, just letting us know that that is valid and that we're on the right path.
Well, it's important. I think important is not something we just say.
Right.
You don't have to be here very long to experience that.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay. So we're going to pivot a little bit.
yep.
We're going to talk about your personal business and your
Okay.
production. So here's a question I would have for you. Do you know your
I
numbers?
do.
Do
I
you?
do.
What I'm finding is our top agents know their numbers. So that's a tip for you guys out there. You need to know your numbers. You need to understand where you are in your business,
Yeah.
what your goals are, what your gaps are, and the strategies to
Yeah.
close that.
Yeah.
So what is your goal, by the way, Michael?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've kind of been in this process of a mid-year review
Right.
and in adjusting that a little bit. So when I started the year out, my goal was I thought I just wanted to close 100 units, and
100 units. Okay.
there's really nothing magical about that other than I thought it's just a good number.
Gotcha.
And so I have been sort of pursuing that number.
There you go.
I over the last 2 months have been in conversations with my coach.
Right.
And we've been reading this book called Profit First.
Yes.
And one of the things I've realized about my business is you can close more units, but not necessarily make more money.
That's right.
And really, the goal is profit.
That's right.
It's to walk away with more money in the bank. And so I did this mid-year review or analyzed my business and realized in the money I was spending, I was actually making a lot less than what I thought I was. And
Gotcha.
so my goal for the remaining 6 months of this year is I want to profit $15,000. And when I say that, I mean after all of my business expenses, after I take out my pay, owner's pay,
Right.
I want to have a profit of about 10%. So this would be about 150,000 in GCI
Right.
needed to do that. And if I can profit at least 10% of that, I just want to begin a piggy bank. And so
Gotcha.
hopefully what will be ongoing in years to come, my profit goal right now is about 10% of my GCI. So
Got it. So, and I remember handing off to you a particular class that
yeah.
talked about these
Uh-huh.
things, and the class was entitled "It's Not Your Money." Do you
Yes.
remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully those little things are helpful
It has
to go
been.
because it really needs to be about profit, not for profit for sake, but it's for what you can do with the money.
And that's it exactly. And so it was really interesting to me to analyze my business from 2018 and the first 6 months of this year and realize, one, I haven't made as much money as I
Right.
thought I had perhaps, but just to think about what that could do. And it's really, Gary Keller says it's not about the money. It's not about the number, but it is about what you can do. I think about when I left my previous job and went through this season of planning a church and not really knowing what I was doing and the way people blessed me and supported me. And just to be able to do that, have the freedom to do that for others, to provide things for my family, for my boys. It's exciting.
I totally get it. So what you told me is that you know your numbers,
Hmm.
you have a goal,
Hmm.
you've actually reviewed it mid-year,
Hmm.
and so you have a plan, a 135, or it's also called a GPS
Hmm.
that'll help you do that. You have daily accountability with the 411.
Hmm.
I think you had shared with me that you did about 9.2 million last year, and you've done
Hmm.
10 something
Hmm.
already,
Hmm.
and that our market has taken about a 20% take back, but your business is growing.
Yeah.
Can you explain how that's happening? What's
Yeah,
going on there?
I think a couple of things in particular. One is my activities this year, especially, have changed drastically.
Gotcha.
I think all of us as agents, if you took Ignite, you know that daily lead generation is crucial to your business,
Right.
but it's so easy at times to find whatever excuse. Sometimes we say we're busy, or sometimes we say I'm scared, or there's so many excuses you can
Right.
find for that. But I have, and I'm continuing to try to eliminate all of those excuses and make that a daily habit from 9 o'clock till about 11:30. That's my time. I'm trying to reserve every day for lead generation.
And so
And
there is no
really,
try.
exactly, I intend to do
There
that
you go.
every single day.
Right.
And I am not quite successful every day,
Right.
but the number of days that I've done that has increased just exponentially. And I'm seeing the results of that. So I think just change in activity has been a huge one. The other real focus, I also just a change in focus. And so I have very intentionally focused on listings this year, even to the point of dropping some internet lead marketing dollars I was spending that was really focused on buyers.
Right.
It's not that I wasn't getting a good return on that, but it's not just the money that it costs, it's the time that it costs as well. And so I've been really kind of laser focused on listings this year, and I think that has made a huge difference.
So what I hear you saying is that you are time blocking,
Yes,
and what you focus on expands. That's a
right.
bold law. So you're laser focused on listings and cutting out anything that doesn't contribute to that bottom line.
Absolutely. And then the last thing would just be leverage and accountability, trying
Okay.
to really being able to focus on my top 20%, adding some accountability in there to make sure I stay focused on those things, and then adding some leverage to help with that
That
other
sounds
80%.
exactly like Gary's Millionaire Real Estate book. It talks about leads, listings, and leverage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how valuable is it for you to be able to step back into Ignite and maybe teach a class where it will help you get more focused,
hmm
brings it back into focus. And when you're teaching, you actually have to really get after it, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, one of the things I've been intentional about doing is every 3 or 4 months, I ask, can I teach a different class?
Gotcha.
Because the information that's in Ignite is so vital, and it's the exact same things. It doesn't matter, I don't think, your level of production. Those things that they teach, those foundations, are important for all of us. And so I love getting to, in a sense, take the class again through
Right.
teaching it.
Right.
And so,
No, you're exactly right. Those are
mhm,
foundational components.
mhm,
And so to really master anything, you
mhm,
have to do it over and over and over
right,
and over. I mean, the definition of mastery, I think, requires 10,000 hours
right,
of
hmm
diligently working towards that thing,
hmm
and then you become a master. So kudos for you getting in there. I also understand that you've been leading a book club with the Millionaire Real Estate book. How
we did.
valuable has that been to you?
Yeah, I think this year for sure has represented a real shift in my business.
Okay.
My production this year is way higher than it's been in previous years, and I really attribute that back to leading through this book. I began making it a habit to try to read the book at least once a year. I think you read it maybe once a month,
Yeah.
but at the very least once a year. And there was something about leading others through the book that really challenged me to dig deeper into it, to analyze what it was saying, and to know it at a different level,
Right.
and and to begin implementing it. And
Right.
it's just like it's so simple. Success is simple, not easy. I think
That's right.
that's what the
Yep.
whole law
That's another.
says.
Yep.
But it's just a matter of doing the things that we know. The information for all of us, whether it's through Connect, Ignite, Bold, all of the training that we provide, the information is there. It's just I found for me, it's just a matter of am I going to actually put it into practice.
Right. And so you have to take the ownership. You have to take the initiative to go and get it. The
Right.
resources are there.
Right.
They may not just be spoon fed to you, but
Yep.
they're there and they're
Absolutely.
available to you. And so
Absolutely.
you're one that's taking advantage. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we've talked around and it's had many bold law this, bold law that. So
Yeah.
Bold's coming out. Are
Yes.
you anticipating taking Bold again?
I'm already signed up
They're
for
already
it.
signed up and
Full,
committed to it.
full deal.
Okay, terrific. Tell me what your expectations are by taking Bold. This is your third time, fourth time?
This will be my fourth time.
Fourth time. Okay.
Yeah.
So why 4 times?
Well, I think a couple of things. One, I'm excited. I know they've changed Bold this year.
Right.
It's going to be a little bit different. I'm excited to see those changes, just to see what they are. So that'll be good. But I think beyond that, I think one of my biggest challenges in especially trying to lead generate every single day, trying to focus on listings. One of the challenges in that is just staying motivated and staying
Right.
focused. And I remember Mega Camp last year. I'll never forget this simple statement where Gary Keller said, he said, success is boring.
Yes.
And just that simple statement has made, because I felt that like, I think in my first couple of years, I was always looking for like, what's the flashy
Shiny, flashy,
new thing that I
Right.
can, if I'll just do this and everything.
Right.
But it's the boring every day. And so it's staying motivated. And what I love about Bowl is for 7 or 8 weeks, I don't have to worry about, well, where's that motivation going to come from?
Right.
Whether it's my team, whether it's meeting the weekly contact numbers or whatever, it's the motivation and the accountability is built into the program. So that's 8 weeks out of the year. I don't have to worry about
Right.
it. And two, mindset is so important, and it's so easy for us to get our mindset out of kilter at times. And so there will be some mindset piece I know that I will get from this bold. that I needed at the
So,
time.
so speak to the agent that's out there. That we got two agents in my mind that I
Hmm.
want you to speak to. One will be the agent that's an experienced agent like yourself, and they think they've got it all figured out,
Hmm.
and they don't need that bold stuff. They don't need
Hmm.
mega camp. They've got it figured out. What would you say to that person?
Well, I would say, because I have been that person,
Yes,
uh, I look at myself a year ago, 2 years ago, and how foolish I was. And I don't want to call anybody else a
sure,
fool,
I get it.
but to think that I knew more than, or had it figured out, when there are people who are doing not just a little bit better than me, but like exponentially
Right,
better than me. And to try to, like, why would I try to do something different, so different from what they were doing, when the models and the systems are already out there? And
gotcha.
it's about the mindset of just putting those things into practice every day. And so there's so much. I don't know anybody in the Central Mississippi market, not just our company, anybody in our market that are doing what I see some of these other agents at Keller Williams
Yeah,
doing. There's
right.
so much opportunity
Right.
in
We're just learning.
scratching the surface.
Yes, we're just scratching surface. We're just now learning to get up on wobbly feet.
That's right.
And a
That's
lot
right.
of that is because of my leadership. I'm growing as a leader and you're growing as a leader. And so, what is it that your business grows to the extent you do,
Yeah.
and you got to have leadership that's
Well,
out
you're
there stretching.
pushing us, though. You're pushing us to the systems and
Yeah,
models. Again, it's just about what we're willing to put into
right.
practice, and are we willing to do the things that we've been
What
taught?
would you say to that struggling agent that's just getting going and is trying to figure out, get the rhythm going?
Mhm.
What would be your top thing you would tell them this is what you need to do for success?
Yeah, well, two things. One is it's all about mindset, and so as a new agent or a struggling agent, I think oftentimes you have doubts or you have fears that are holding you back, and so that having the correct mindset is so important.
Right.
And I think one of the things Bold introduces you to is all of these different skill sets as well. And so for me this year, I said I've been focusing on listings for sale by owners, and expireds has been a big part of that. And I was introduced to those scripts through Bold in over the last 3 to 4 years. Trying to master those scripts and use them effectively has been a huge part of my business,
Right.
and I've seen return on that this year. Well, Bold introduced me to that,
Right.
and began to show it. That's how I found out I was good at it, because Bold challenged me to actually go and do it.
So there's a mindset out there that a new agent may have. I'm not saying they have it. I'm saying it's a
Hmm.
potential, and I've seen it come up from time to time.
Hmm.
They will see the cost of going to Bold or the cost to
Hmm.
go into Mega Camp as a cost
Hmm.
and not as an investment in their personal development. What would you
Right.
say about that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to change that necessarily, other than to talk about my experience, to talk about the experience
Sure.
that it absolutely is an investment. Not in not even in what you get during those 7 weeks, but the things you're introduced to, that for the rest of the year, you're going to begin to process those things and put those things into practice and try them. You're going to find where your passion is. You're going to find what you're good at. And so you guys make it so easy for us with the reimbursement
Yeah.
program anyway,
Yeah.
but it absolutely is an investment.
So here's something that I had a team leader when I first started this company.
Hmm.
My mother and I started this company.
Hmm.
Said, "Are you going to family reunion?" I'm going, "I don't know." He goes, "Phil, it's life changing." I'm
Hmm.
going, "Really life changing?"
Hmm.
And so what you just said is that you took something that you can use all the next year, but what if that something is so big that you use it for the rest of your
Absolutely.
career?
Absolutely.
And it changes your life,
Hmm.
changes your trajectory, and changes your ability to be able to give back to the people
Absolutely.
that are important to
For
you.
sure.
So
I can think of, like I said, that one statement, success is boring.
yeah,
I can almost think of a statement or an experience in each one of the things I've been to that have just, they resound with, I remember them all the time. And
yeah.
sometimes it's as simple as a statement. Sometimes it's in a skill or a practice, but
So I'm going to take you back. I heard this through the grapevine. You didn't share it. And so hopefully I won't make you uncomfortable. I think I remember someone telling me that you got to a place in your real estate career that things got very, very tight.
yes.
And you purposely made a decision
Hmm.
that you were going to make an investment. And I can't recall what the investment was. Can you shed a little bit of light? Will you be willing to share
Yeah,
something?
for sure. It was my second year in real estate. So my first year went pretty well.
Okay.
And but my second year got off to a really slow start. It was the first quarter, and I think through the first 3 months, I had only done maybe 4 transactions, and two of those were like I represented the buyer seller on a really um, small, it's not a lot of volume. And so it was to that point where it was like make or break. If I'm going to, this is how I feed my family. I don't have other
Right.
sources of income necessarily. And I probably had less than $1,000 in my bank account, and Bold was coming up in March, and it was the wrestling, right? Of what do I do? And I just thought back to why I got into this, why I wanted to pursue real estate. And said, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And that was actually the first time I took Bold. I didn't take it my first year. Maybe I should have. But so I made that. I think it was 700 that year. It might have been 800, but I think it was a $700 investment. And so we're going to do this. And I would say the rest is history.
Good.
So,
Great job
yeah.
on really making that commitment to yourself
Yeah.
and to your personal growth. Now, I understand you've made another commitment. You've recently taken on a MAPS mastery contract,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You're now
Yeah.
being
Mhm.
coached at the
Mhm.
mastery level,
Mhm.
and that's $1,000 a month commitment. Tell
Yeah.
me more about that.
That is a easy investment.
Easy investment.
Yeah, well, it wasn't an easy investment. I fought it for years.
Right.
But again, one, it was foolish to think I knew better than somebody who's already been there and done that.
Right.
Two, again, going back to the statement I keep saying, I think we all know what to do.
Right.
It's a matter of just actually doing it. And so, what my coach has done for me, he has helped me eliminate excuses for why I don't do that, and he's also helped me maintain focus. And so, since I have hired a coach for the last 2 months, I've met my listing goal of 6 listings a month every single time.
Very nice.
He just keeps me focused on that. He helps me even this whole budget thing I talked about earlier with profit and
Right.
putting profit first. He has led me through that and helped me assess my business and set goals for the next year and understand where I was and what I need to do to get there. And so um, this isn't easy. I will do it forever. I feel confident
Yes.
in saying that. So.
Yes, it's all about relationships and getting out there and developing those contacts
Mhm.
and doing the work that you need to do. That's not going to just come find you.
Yeah.
You have to go out there. It's like farming. You have to
Mhm.
plow the field. You have to plant the seeds,
Mhm.
and then you'll trust God's going to water it for you, and you'll bear it in due season.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Michael. So what's next for you?
Whew. Real estate, I think a couple of things is number one, I got to add leverage soon. And
Gotcha.
so building a team and beginning that process is going to be a huge part
So
of
we're going to follow the
what's
models
next.
and the systems.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking to hire an EA now and have put together a pretty solid job description for that. I feel good about where that is. And then I think from there, we'll look to hire some or create a showing assistant type team. So those will be the next steps in terms of leverage.
Gotcha. So Keller Williams has another income stream available to you
Yes.
called profit sharing.
Yes.
So how's that working out for you?
I think over the course of my time here, I've had 3 or 4 people in my downline.
Right.
I think this is an area of weakness, honestly. Hopefully in maybe 2020, it'll make it on my 1 through 5. But
Right.
it's an area of growth for me for
Absolutely.
sure. It's an area that I realize there's a lot of opportunity there that I have not taken full advantage of. But I have also over the past couple of months, especially, begun to see some of the benefits of that. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So in our closing moments, what would you like to say to our agent partners out there?
And number one, I would just say congratulations on making the right choice to join Keller Williams.
Perfect.
There's so much opportunity here. There's so much, I think just you've taught us to have an abundancy mindset and understanding how much opportunity is there, the resources that are available to us. I hope every agent in our company is just grateful for that and will take advantage of that. And the second thing I would say is just follow the systems and models. You don't
Perfect.
have to reinvent the wheel.
I love that.
Yeah, right. I knew you would.
I'm a systems guy.
Yeah, just read this book.
That's right.
Do what it says, and you'll do well.
Well, perfect. Well, thanks for being with us today
Yeah.
and sharing your time, committing your time. I know you're a busy guy.
Sure.
And man, we are so happy that we're changing lives and
Absolutely.
living the dream.
Awesome.
This has been a production of Keller Williams Realty in Flowood, Mississippi, located at 132 Riverview Drive, Suite A. To contact our offices, call us at 601 977 9411.